President Boren shocks the Sooner Nation. Hurricane Maria is coming full force, and a special guest joins us in the studio. This is OU Nightly. The second longest standing president of the University of Oklahoma, David Boren, is stepping down after nearly 24 years. Today, Boren told to a crowd of several OU students, faculty, and staff that he plans to retire June 30th.
Debo, as he was affectionately known, thanked his wife, students, faculty, and staff for the success that he and the university have achieved over the past quarter century.
I have always understood that there would come a time when I should pass the baton to a new president. I have thought long and hard about what is best for our university. I have wanted the transition to occur when the university was at maximum strength. I believe that the right time has come. That is why I'm announcing today that I plan to retire as president of the University of Oklahoma, effective at the end of the school year, June 30th of next year, contingent upon the selection of my permanent successor. If a successor has not been named by that time, I will remain as president until a permanent selection is made, so that there will be no gap in the university's leadership and no pause in our forward momentum. Until that time, I pledge to continue to do my best to provide the kind of leadership that this great university deserves. Britain's poet laureate for many years, John Masefield, eloquently wrote of the university as follows, and I hope we'll consider it carefully, and especially those, not only our students, but our entire family, our faculty, and our staff, so that we can realize the importance of the enterprise in which we're involved. Here's what John Masefield wrote. There are few things more enduring than a university. Religions may split into sect or heresy. Dynasties may perish and be supplanted. But for century after century, the university will continue, and the stream of life will pass through it. And the thinker and the seeker will be bound together in the undying cause of bringing thought into the world. To be a member of these great societies must ever be a great distinction. Serving as your president has been the most rewarding period of my life. So many of you in this room have rubbed off on me. So many special friendships have been made. It's impossible for me to express my appreciation to you. Thank all of you for making it so rewarding. Because of you, as the chant says, our university will live on stronger than ever. Thank you all very, very much for being here. Thank you. Thank you.
Boren today stressed the importance of higher education, and he said that he always wanted to retire when the university was at top strength. Boren established a grand total of 32 programs during his time at the university, and under his presidency, he has established or expanded or renovated 57 facilities on OU's campus.
And now let's turn to Nightly's Reagan Ledbetter. He is on the North Oval with more on President Boren's announcement.
Yeah,
Reagan?
guys, a shock heard around the state is what I would call this. The OU family saw Bob Stoops step down back in June, and now today, President Boren announces his retirement just 3 short months later. In recent years, David Boren has made his mission to make OU one of the top-tier universities in the country. One of his most important moments was his handling of the SA incident back in the spring of 2015. During his tenure, Boren has raised $3.1 billion for the university, and something he will always be remembered for, and that is he has increased the number of National Merit Scholars each and every year he has been here. Here's what he had to say after he spoke at the podium.
That question, but I think expanding opportunities for our students in so many areas, like study abroad, challenging our very best students, all of our students, but our best students need to be challenged. That's been true of the Honors College, raising the academic profile and standards at the university.
Boren made it a point in a tweet after he spoke today that he wants to keep the momentum of the university going for the next 9 months and beyond. Back to you guys.
We'll have more on David Boren's retirement coming up. But there is other news today, and OU Nightly's Taitum Wilson is in the news center with health care.
That's right. Republicans on Capitol Hill are trying once again to repeal the Affordable Care Act. And today, the person behind the ACA, former President Barack Obama, commented on the current administration's health care plans.
With bills that would raise costs or reduce coverage or roll back protections for older Americans or people with pre-existing conditions, the cancer survivor, the expecting mom, or the child with autism or asthma, for whom coverage once again would be almost unattainable, it is aggravating.
The bill GOP senators are trying to pass is a last-ditch effort to reform health care by the end of the month. And a 7.1 magnitude earthquake rocked central Mexico yesterday. At least 225 people are dead. One of the worst damaged buildings was a school that collapsed. The bodies of 21 children and 4 adults were found at the Enrique Repsamen School. Mexican President Peña Nieto says as many as 30 people are still trapped in the school. And Hurricane Maria continues on a destructive path. It is now a Category 3, but its powerful winds are pounding Puerto Rico. The governor's office says the entire island is without power. The storm is expected to head toward the Dominican Republic tonight. And Shea, here in the States, due to Jose, the coasts of Rhode Island and Massachusetts are under a tropical storm warning.
Thank you, Taitum. And Leah Hill has our first look at weather.
Thanks, guys. So this is a live look at Hurricane Maria as it's just slamming the island of Puerto Rico, bringing with it lots of dangerous storm surge, 6 to 9 feet of storm surge. The entire island of Puerto Rico completely without power. Maximum wind gusts with this hurricane was 175 miles per hour, and it is also bringing with it hazards such as flooding and also a lot of mudslides to the island of Puerto Rico. Very dangerous situation over there. Here in Oklahoma, however, we'll be talking about the first day of fall, the cold front that's going to be coming through, and scattered showers next week.
Thank you, Leah. And still ahead on OU Nightly, OU students react to President Boren's retirement.
Plus, we have a live in-studio interview you won't want to miss.
OU Nightly's coverage of David Boren's retirement announcement continues now.
Harlee Toothman is in Studio B with J.D. Baker, the president of OU Student Government. Harlee?
Thank you for joining us, JD. So you attended the news conference today. What was the atmosphere like?
Oh, it was incredible. Just all the people. Really, it was the Sooner family was together. It was definitely a family event. Just so many faces, people who were at the university. I ran into Scott Martin, who was the student governor president when President Boren became president. So it really was a really cool just atmosphere. Just everyone wanted to come together and just celebrate this this president that we love and adore.
So what do you kind of hope the new president will bring to the table for OU?
Well, I hope that he or she will bring a vision. I think every leader must need a vision. I'm not sure what that vision should look like, but a vision that is one of growth and reaching higher heights and one of excellence, similar to the vision of President David Boren or even President George Lynn Cross.
Absolutely. So what do you believe the lasting impact will be from President Boren?
Oh my. The university is what it is today because of our many presidents, but this one president has done so much in so little time. And he's been president for nearly a fifth of the history of this university. And so it's, there's just so much. There's so much. I can't really pinpoint it, but it's going to be that we're a university that strives for excellence in every single way, athletics, academics, just in our culture and how we interact. Each day we're becoming a better university because of David Boren.
Absolutely. So can you kind of explain the process of picking the newest president, if you know anything about it?
To my knowledge, there's a search committee that will be appointed by the Board of Regents, and then they will make a recommendation to the Board of Regents, and then the regents will make their selection. So hopefully it's a critical and comprehensive process, and I'm not in any rush. So
Absolutely. So how do you think the leadership will change?
I think the leadership will be consistent. I've gotten to work with many of the administrators and vice presidents of this campus, and they've learned from President Boren. Many of them were undergrads when they started here many years ago under David Boren, and so now they're including Provost Harper. And so I see the leadership continuing because he's mentored them, he's trained them, and they understand how the university should run. So I believe the leadership will continue. A lot of them I highly respect, and I think they're doing a fine job. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us, JD. We'll go back to the desk for the student reaction.
And now we will take you to OU South Oval.
And Nightly's Zach Brown is here with student reaction.
And a historic day on the campus of the University of Oklahoma, as news that President David Boren will step down has shocked the students. And while today may be disappointing, students are just thankful for everything he's done here at OU.
Today, Jacob Rosecrans was sworn in as the newest Democratic House member for District 46 and knows exactly why he's here.
And for any students worrying about who his predecessor will be, don't. Boren has expressed his love and care for the university and expects nothing less than his predecessor. Guys, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Zach. Sydney Forsee is here with more on yesterday's deadly earthquake in Mexico.
On the anniversary that killed 10,000 citizens 32 years ago, Mexico City was blindsided by the 7.1 quake yesterday. This is the second deadly quake that has struck the nation in 2 weeks. But why is this happening? Mexico lies in a danger zone. The country lies on top of a meeting place for 5 tectonic plates. But it also resides on the Ring of Fire, an area that makes up 80% of seismic activity. In addition, Mexico City is built on top of a dried lake bed, making the ground unstable and prone to liquefaction.
Thank you very much, Sydney.
Welcome, you guys.
The Capitol has a new face today, one that you may recognize from Norman. Kenneth Adair has the details.
Today, Jacob Rosecrans was sworn in as the newest Democratic House member for District 46 and knows exactly why he's here.
Well, to be honest with you, it's more important for the state, more important for my constituency, more important for the ones that elected me than it is for me. I have a servant's heart. I'm here to serve, and that's exactly what I plan to do.
Family, friends, and even former teachers were at the Capitol today to show their support of his success.
18 years old, and to see him be sworn in today for an office that he worked so hard for, I'm giddy. I'm utterly giddy to think that my kiddo is going to be up here working.
There are many things the new member stands for, but the common man is at the top of his list.
Jacob represents not just oil and gas. He doesn't just represent people who pay him for his time. He represents the everyday guy who goes to work, works his 9 to 5, comes home, has fun with kids.
There are still many issues in the state of Oklahoma, like education, but Rosecrans plans to start solving them as soon as possible. Kenneth Adair, OU Nightly.
As a former teacher, Rosecrans and the rest of the Democratic Party will put an emphasis on the education crisis in Oklahoma.
Earlier today, the Democratic caucus held a press conference to introduce the topics expected to be on the table Monday when the special sessions begin. Governor Mary Fallin called this session after a budget shortfall of nearly $215 million.
No, we are hearing that there could be a Republican plan that actually would cut the income tax rate, but then eliminate some deductions, which would cause some tax increases to go probably on the backs of middle-class families. Instead of asking oil and gas companies to pay more, and what we hear their plan is to cut the income tax for some folks and eliminate some deductions for working families that would just make them pay more. Certainly they could do that with just 51.
The special session would cost Oklahomans $30,000 per day. And still ahead on OU Nightly, our favorite David Boren moments.
And more weather is to come.
That's right, guys. Hot temperatures stick around a little while longer, but I'll tell you when the next cold front comes through, when we come back with Maine weather. Welcome back to OU Nightly. We're going to take a live look outside right now. It looks beautiful out there, but it is very hot. We have temperatures currently sitting at 91 degrees. So just very hot and warm overall, which is a very light breeze from the south at about 17 miles per hour. And then on top of that, we have a very high heat index for tomorrow, or for today, I'm sorry. Right now, the heat index it makes it feel like it's 100 degrees out there in Norman and in Oklahoma City as well. We're looking at heat index values in the triple digits as we go down more towards the south. So it just feels very hot and very sticky out there. This evening, we will start to cool down. We're going to get into 80s for most of the night. Around midnight, we're going to hit that 80-degree mark. That southerly breeze is going to stick around for the entire evening. We are going to hit that low, 75 degrees, which is quite a bit above average for this time of year. And then tomorrow, when you go out the door for your classes in the morning, we're going to warm up quite a bit again. 91 degrees is our high. On top of that, we have another high heat index values for tomorrow. So it's going to feel like it's going to be upwards in the 90s, but we're looking at 90s all across the state. That is above average for this time of year. Normally, we're going to be sitting at 83 degrees around this time of year, but we're looking at 91 in Norman tomorrow. So very hot. And then again, those high heat index values will make it feel even hotter. As we go towards these next couple days, we're going to have a very hot, again, first day of fall on Friday. As we get in towards next week, we see those rain chances starting Monday. Cold front's going to be coming through Monday, bringing with it chances for rain Monday and into Wednesday. I'm Leah Hill.
Thank you, Leah. And Sam Brown is here to talk about the Red Hot Sooner offense. Sam?
That's right, the Sooner offense is picking up all the awards. I'll tell you who got the glory this week. And history was made in the MLB last night. Sports is straight ahead. Back heading into this week's matchup against Baylor, the Sooners seem to be winning awards left and right. Most recently, wide receiver Marquise Brown won Big 12 Newcomer of the Week on Monday. The JUCO transfer went off against Tulane on Saturday with 155 yards and a TD. He also set the school record for most receiving yards in a second half. The defense, meanwhile, has looked like the Sooners of old. Instead of Tommy Harris and Roy Williams, think Obo Okoronkwo and Parnell Motley. That's right, Parnell Motley has arguably been the best DB for the Sooners this year. The secondary hasn't allowed a passing TD all season, and that's not something they take lightly. The Sooners' first Big 12 opponent of the year, however, is not nearly as hot as OU is. The Baylor Bears have started off the season 0-3 and have lost at home to both Liberty and UT San Antonio. They will also be without starting QB Anu Solomon due to concussion-like symptoms. Switching over to the Diamond, Kansas City Royals outfielder Alex Gordon hit a home run in the 8th inning against the Toronto Blue Jays. Doesn't seem like much, but that was actually the 5,694th dinger of the MLB season. That broke the record set in 2000 for the most home runs in any season in the history of the league. The best part is there's still 2 weeks to go. I mean, talk about a hitter's dream. And Lakers rookie point guard Lonzo Ball is enjoying his first NBA offseason. In a little late-night workout, the #2 overall pick in the draft posted a video on his Instagram and showed off the hops on his dunk. But that's not all. He breaks out the dance moves afterwards. I guess ESPN talk shows can now debate over what's better, his dunking skills or his dancing skills. Now, guys, Dancing with the Stars Season 25 started on Monday, so he can't really compete this season. But Season 26, I don't think there's a better candidate than Lonzo Ball.
I know. I think they should call him and ask him.
Might as well.
I agree. Sounds like he has some moves.
Thank you, Sam.
No problem.
And coming up, Boren's best moments to come.
I'm Amina Switzer at the OU Nightly Update Desk. OKC officers who shot and killed a man approaching them with a metal pipe say they did not hear witnesses yelling that the man was deaf. Police Captain Bo Matthews said that Madgiel Sanchez, who was not obeying officers' commands, was shot with a gun and a taser. Sanchez died at the scene. That's all for now. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, and it's been extremely hot out. Is it going to cool off at all?
It will, yes. We're going to have a few more days of this hot weather and 90 degrees, but then next week it is going to have a cool down. We will have a cold front coming through. But for this heat that we're going to be seeing, just limit outdoor activity, stay hydrated, you know, take frequent breaks in the shade and drink lots of water.
Man, Perfect. Well, thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.
And the video we promised, this is for you, David Boren.
Understand that there are pressures being exerted, that Mr. Mandela and President de Klerk, as they
also reference the pay cut proposal.
so that just as we grapple the next couple of months.